Welcome to Bogside Chats. We're talking everything DeFi Kingdoms, but keeping it with a first non-whale podcast. No Gen Zeros, no stable of 100 heroes. My name's C9N. Joining with me is the Bogside crew. Boys, how we doing?
Very good. No guy kid tonight. He's taking care of his Gen 1s, plural, but we'll manage.
Sound excited. That's loving that.
Awesome. Okay, Maddie, what do we have on the agenda for today?
Well, we'll start off, and the reason I'm a little down is because Jewel has just been.
Way to start off.
Jewel has just been dropping. Maybe it's affecting my mood. We're looking at 460 now. From a week ago we were looking at 10, almost 11. What's going on? Why is it dropping?
Yeah, why didn't you guys tell me to sell at 10? What's up with that?
Yeah, who said that? Unbelievable.
No,
I don't know. I think there's a general kind of fear that I think I've heard a couple people talking about of the price only seems to jump when they make a big announcement or a big in-game event happens. Otherwise, it's just been stagnant.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's what it's been like this whole time. Every time something new comes out, it jumps up. Everyone gets excited. You're riding the waves because it's not a completely built game. And you have to think long term. Imagine if we were watching COD being built in front of us over the course of a year. Like, we'd be like, this game sucks. But this is actually engaging and it's not done. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole market's down too. It's not if everything else were going sideways or going up and Jewel was going down, I'd be worried. I'm not really too worried about this. It stinks because if you need the money, you can't get it out right now. But if you don't need to make any withdrawals, just ride the wave.
Yes, I understand that. And again, I'm still long-term super bullish on the game and on Jewel. I think once PvP happens, I think the sky is the limit for this thing. But I am a little nervous of it not being able to sustain itself, because it's, each time, they can't do that many events, or they can't do that many, make that many announcements to sustain it. And so I'm worried there's going to be potentially a even worse falling out.
They made quite a few today, so I think they actually can keep making announcements as as kind of the momentum starts building when we get closer to the PvP. They kind of alluded to today that they're going to be going rapid fire as far as when things are ready, they're going to push them. Now that Crystal Vale is in the rearview mirror, and I mean, just think about the amount of resources it took for Crystal Vale internally on their team. That now all those people are freed up to, do other things, right? So.
Oh, totally, and yeah, I think that's a great segue. Let's get into it. Today is, forgot to say it up top. Today is the 11th, April 11th. There was an AMA today with the game mechanics team, where they went through kind of a bunch of things. Big one being, like you said, the rapid fire events that are coming out. One of those being pets. They said the biggest piece of information I got from that was that it's going to be staggered depending on the color of your egg. Gray and blue are going to be the first ones to hatch. It'll be some sort of time, incubation. You'll have to give your egg to the guy, and he'll hatch it in a week or something like that. I think this is super exciting. If that happens in the next 2 weeks, that's definitely going to be something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's great. And, we all have a bunch of eggs. If everyone's been questing, you've probably gotten at least one by now, right? I mean...
Yeah, I have 3 now.
Yeah, I've got a bunch. C9N, how you doing?
Next topic.
Okay, got it. So no eggs over there. Guy has a few too.
Yeah,
so,
I know, yeah. I think also... Go for it.
I like the staggered approach. I don't know why certain colored eggs would... maybe as far as the coding would be different, but I guess what I'm saying is, do we think this is kind of a technical thing, or do we think they're just trying to stagger things?
I think.
Do they have the capability to put 4 eggs out at a time? I mean, I know they have a solid team over there, but there is so much going on, and the complexity keeps being added.
Right, but like I would think that like one egg is the same as another as far as the actual smart contract, right? Like what?
No,
I
but
don't
they're
know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know technically. I don't know enough coding and stuff like that to understand it. Um, I do sort of like it in the sense of we're gonna get something, um, rather than waiting for it all to be ready and just delaying it more. Um, but yeah, it is kind of weird. Why is it staggered?
how many variations are there possibly of different
I don't know.
species?
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that it's more than what heroes currently are, right?
I mean, probably.
So,
Yeah, we saw a bunch of images of like a
Different
bunch of
type
different
total.
animals.
Yeah.
right. So I'm saying that how many different templates do they have to really tighten up and put together before they can
That
start?
could be it. That could
So
be it.
Yeah.
They finished the blue and the grays templates.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Like maybe 3 or 4 different variations per
yeah,
egg
yeah,
color? Is that too
sounds
few?
about. No, that sounds
Yeah.
about safe.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be, and it'll be you might get the same animal, but it'll be different, stats or whatever. You might get two.
Different rarity, but
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
far as the pet classes go,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense. I think also something interesting they talked about was that the boosts or like the bonuses that the pets are going to give are not exclusively just combat. There are some that boost professions. So I think that would be super cool is if these first round ones we can immediately start using and getting a boost to our quests that we're going on.
yeah. I mean, I kind of thought it was just going to be straight stat boosts, and
Yeah.
so if it was, it kind of affects profession and combat the same, right? Because you're just increasing the stats, and if they match. But the way that it was worded made it seem like it was going to be something else in regards to like maybe a green egg, has an additional boost to gardening score or gardening or profession score, right?
Yeah.
So that could
Yeah.
be cool. The cost part was interesting to me. Um, they did say that it's going to cost something to hatch these. They made it sound like it's not going to be jewel or not a lot of jewel, maybe around the same amount as leveling, but then other items that aren't really used for potions right now. So maybe bloaters, maybe ragweed. I don't know.
Maybe a new Shavast rune type thing.
Yeah, they could introduce things like that. We haven't
Yeah.
heard anything about new runes, but we do know there are a lot more on the hero side that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that will be interesting and hopefully, I mean, this is something we've discussed a lot of, especially with smaller wallets. I'm just like stockpiling all those inventory items right now. I haven't been selling those for gold. So if there's more utility for some of those inventory items, I'd be pumped. And if I could make some money off of it, that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, I always go back and forth with the inventory, right? Because on one hand, they don't have any utility now. If you're just straight dumping it for gold or for jewel, I'd prefer. You could maybe get, more in the gardens, maybe buy another hero if you save up. But I think once that utility's released, we're going to see those prices really skyrocket.
You think so? So you guys are both holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like you need 100 bloaters to hatch your egg, people are going to be dying for more bloaters.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, bloaters maybe not the best example because
Yeah,
they
I know.
are so inflationary, but
Yeah,
um,
silver fins or whatever.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
if we looked back at the charts, and I don't think we're ready to do this now, but if we looked back at the charts for shimmer skins when Stampots were released, I'm sure there was a big spike because now all of a sudden everyone has a reason for having
Yeah.
shimmer skins.
Yeah, I mean,
So that could
I
be
I
cool.
think more utility for those inventory items is great, and I can understand, as soon as you're done questing, immediately selling them to try and get some value either in gold or jewel. But my strategy right now is to just keep stacking them up and just holding on to everything.
Probably a good code. All right, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
I
All
That
right.
was
just
our goal.
I wiped everything and bought a crypto raider. So
Oh boy.
No talking about other games. What are
No
you doing?
talking about other games. Yeah, get that
All
out of
right,
here.
moving on. Moving
Go
on.
play your Defira.
Don't you
No.
dare say that on the
Sorry.
pod.
So more quests coming out.
Yes, big thing they mentioned in the AMA. They said they're working on a few things. Pets being one of them. That's what I'm most excited. That's why I talked about that first. But training quests was also another thing they listed, which we talked about kind of more in length in our last ep. But this seems super exciting. I think it would be a great way to beef up your heroes if you can, uh, you know, do a mission and get a stat bonus.
Yeah, it's cool. We talked a lot last week about the kind of quest trees that could come off of that, or we hope come off of that. Definitely go back and listen to that. But, at this point, we opened the show saying we need more events. This is a big one.
And if you catch something that we hit on before it was released, give us a like, leave a comment, share it.
Got to throw that in there.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about training quests before it was cool. So
Well, you hit the alpha on that one, Maddie.
Cutting edge of DFK content.
yeah. Another thing they mentioned, which I thought was interesting. I mean, not much to discuss on it, but they said level 10 quests. They specifically said level 10. Obviously, this is the more advanced, higher level quests that they've been hinting at doing them for a while. We've been talking about them for a while, but I do find it interesting that they phrased it as level 10 quests.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth on Twitter right after the AMA about what does that mean. General consensus is that it's the level 10 of the profession score. So I believe it's only about 57 heroes right now that are at actual level 10. So unless the goal was to create another stampede for Stampots, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the profession score.
Yeah, I think so too. They've said that as much as that the higher level quests, the threshold will be your profession score, not your hero's level. But it is some interesting phrasing.
Isn't the max somewhere in like 22.4 for
profession? Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, I think it was 21 point.
Might be
21 even.
I saw a 20 or yeah, okay, 21.
Yeah, but I think that changed when the level 10 to 20 for the actual levels of the heroes opened.
Understood.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think that was given a new ceiling as well.
So we assume that there's going to be a level 20 profession quest?
Yeah, I mean, down the road, right? Another thing,
so.
Just going back to a few AMAs ago, or no, it was at the AVAC Summit. They put up a screenshot that showed land and had level gates on the land. Something I know Guy Kidd said in one of our past episodes is, maybe it is level 10 profession score, but the quest is in an area that's level gated from your actual level. So like, yeah, to do the next fishing, you need to be level 10 fisher, but you need to be a level 5 hero to even get there. And I mean, I think that kind of makes sense because you wouldn't get to that profession score without getting enough XP
without
for
having
leveling.
Exactly.
But that could be cool as we see land kind of get rolled out a little bit more. Nothing on land today in the AMA, but it's around.
Yeah, it could be very interesting. And I think it's profession score. I'm searching real quick. I don't see anybody more than 21 for a profession score. So that still might be the cap on that. Yeah, I got some 21.1, 21.
Yeah, that was talked about the 0.1. It's, if you get a plus 0.3 and you were already 0.2 away.
There's a 0.3. So I don't know if that's been lifted yet for the based on the new levels. All right, the AMA then got into some issues about an interesting topic here about botting, about the leaderboard, and about people. They put the leaderboard in place. I'll just be honest, in my opinion, I mean, I'm never going to see the leaderboard just because I have 5 heroes and I'm not buying Stampots. So like that's just something I'm not gonna be part of it. It's an ongoing discussion of, are the whales just dominating this leaderboard? Is there any way we can stop it? It's interesting. I mean, what are you thinking about it, Franz?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are definitely some mechanics in there to allow you, as someone with 5 heroes, to participate in it. There are days where it's single hero on normalized stamina, or however they word it, where it's not counting stam pots. The weekly and the monthly are, I think, where it becomes more of a whale game, right? It's,
Yeah.
most red gill in a week, most shimmer skin in a month, whatever it is. That's where they were saying that botting can present a significant advantage, right? Because over the course of a month, I don't care if you're the most dedicated player in the world, you're going to miss some quests, you're going to delay some, and then, it's whereas a bot is perfect as far as efficiency goes, right?
No, totally.
So they were saying that they have some plans in place as far as blacklisting certain wallets if they're doing it egregiously, and then bringing up, the Scholar program again, that they want that to kind of replace bots as far as how people go about playing the game.
Yeah, well, it's probably good that the whales are getting some value in there and keeping them engaged. But I like Frisky's response, which he mentioned that the stams that could possibly be feeding the whales are coming from the common players. They're coming from you and I. So if we're putting together a couple pieces of inventory and we're making some stam pots, that's how we're making Jewel. That's how we're mining it, right? So really,
But we're not, though, and we were just saying that we're hanging on to our inventory. Maybe we should be doing this. The stam pots that I have, I've bought with Jewel where it was down to 1.3. I looked earlier today; it was at like 3.8 Jewel per stam pot. So I'm not touching that. Maybe this is a time where I should be putting together a little gold and some shimmer skins, and heading over to the Alchemist.
I was looking at this as well, and I think we're sort of right at the line where I think it would be worth it to start making the stam pots. But if it's under 3 Jewel, per stam pot, it's almost not worth it based on the components, the costs of the gold and the costs of the inventory.
At the current levels.
Yeah, at their current, especially with gold, gold kind of just shot up pretty recently. So,
Right.
Like 3.5, I think was my quick math on it. Where if it's a 3.5 Jewel is, you would make a little bit of Jewel based on your inventory costs. So the Jewel, I mean, I want stam pots to go up in price. If there's more utility for them, great. Because if they get up to 4 or 5, that's when we can really start bringing home some profits for us, small timers.
And that was where Frisky kind of went on to say was, once combat starts and these health potions, these health vials, these mana vials, these anti-poison, whatever the other ones are in there, they're all going to have a use case. Whereas right now, I haven't crafted any of those because they don't do anything, right?
Yeah.
But
Although
they all take ingredients as well.
Be interesting right now. I haven't looked at them. If maybe we should be stockpiling those. What are they selling for? What is an anti-poison vial selling for right now?
I can look right now if you want to keep talking.
But I bet, because that would be an interesting angle to take of, again, I'm very bullish in the game, but we have hit kind of a lull. It's really a bet on the future. If you think it's going to be popular to start stockpiling these, weird items.
Maddie got DFK high over Crystal Vale, and now that he's bottoming out a little bit, he's getting in a depressed area. He needs something else. He needs another bump. What do you got, Franz?
I do.
Yeah. So right now, an anti-blind potion is going for 1.135 Jewel. So, not too.
Yeah.
I mean, to really dig into this discussion, I don't think we're gonna right now. We need to.
No, I think
the Alchemist, what it costs to make it.
Yeah.
But it's that's the part of this game that when people say there isn't a game yet, it's true. There's not, but there are things to do and there are ways to be playing by keeping an eye on things like this.
And how much do you want this to be a game, right? How much do you want to see the end product? Because that's the real goal. That's what you're working towards. I mean, bullish.
Yeah, I think it's very cool. And I think we're just kind of like spitballing here, talking about it. But I think it's very interesting to keep an eye on the prices of those vials and different items. I think the inventory is going to become the best path for small wallets to make some Jewel.
A quick plug. How awesome is DFK Chain? I know we've been saying this for a little bit, but it's very refreshing.
Crystal Bell's super smooth. I mean, they killed it. We always say that. We always praise the team. Every time that something new comes up in the game, they always handle it very well.
Yeah, and Harmony was getting a lot of hate because it had a rough few days there,
Yeah.
and it's dunking on Harmony is the fashionable thing in the community. It's like you want people to just agree with you, just dunk on Harmony. But overall, I don't know, I'm back to normal with questing. I think DFK Chain's going to be great, but I don't think that we can start the parade yet saying that it won. I think we need to see it with quests on it. Right now, there's not much going on there, so it's pretty easy for it to kind of keep pace.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see it. Should be great.
Oh,
I'm excited to see these Gen Zeros from Crystal Vale as well.
Yeah, I think that is a excellent segue. They talked about Gen Zero. So we touched on this last week, how potentially the new classes, Berserker and Seer, coming in can really throw off the balance of the hero population. And so the team talked about today in the AMA potentially re-rolling the recessive genes of the original Cyrodiil Gen Zeros, which would be kind of wild if they actually go through with this plan, but could potentially solve that problem of the Seers and the Berserkers throwing off the hero populations. But what do you think of this news?
I think it's great. I want to hear. I just want to hear about the Gen Zeros, and I got one raffle ticket, and I fully expect to get a Gen Zero.
If that thing wins, it's going to be an epic day on the pod.
Oh yeah,
it's going to though. I already know it. You told
awesome.
me.
Confidence is how you win raffles. Actually,
it's proven.
What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, no, I thought this was really interesting. We plugged Metez's video last week. It had me thinking of the different options, the different paths they could take. And then he asked that question today and got them talking about it again. And I was glad to see that they have a plan in place. Now I'll spend the next week thinking about if I think it's the right one. But right off the bat, I love the game theory that comes into the Gen Zero reroll, right? Because they said they don't have to do it. They're not going to force reroll all the Gen Zeros. So if you have a Gen Zero with a recessive, primary class, maybe keep it. If you have a warrior miner, you're probably going to keep that. Well, that the main class in the profession wouldn't be rerolled, so that's a bad example. But the ones that have recessives that don't align very well with the primary, you could take that other shot at.
Yeah, it will be interesting if what sort of I'm curious if they'll give odds or give the players or the users information on how the reroll will work, and then if there is a choice, I think that'll be very interesting, because at the same time they're also potentially introducing Seer and Berserker to a lot of these cards. You could end up with obviously a wizard or a priest who has a Berserker recessive. I mean, that could really change the value of that Gen Zero.
Yeah. I mean, and what if it's a mining priest, where that's not super valuable, but if you get that Berserker to flip, then that's great all of a sudden.
Really quick, the way that Frisky introduced that, it sounds like he introduced the roles as part of new game functionality, so that as these new classes come out, you can do it again and again and again. It seems like an awesome workaround to a problem that they had in the past, and they built functionality in this awesome little side part to deal with that. And really, it just goes to rolling with the punches.
Yeah, and I like how moving forward for the next expansion, we're going to see this again. So maybe you don't re-roll this time, but maybe next time around, you decide, it's more beneficial to try to get these genes on my Gen Zero. And I think that'll be dictated by how good the market is for the Berserker and Seer, starting off.
I'm gonna win that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all gonna win Gen Zeros, and
Yeah.
then
Of course.
we're gonna
And it
have
will no longer
to
be the
retire
non-
the podcast.
Yeah.
That is one thing, speaking of the raffles, maybe they have said this and you guys know, but one thing I don't think they've said, all these different raffles, right? There are like 10 different raffles.
Correct.
And I know that within the confines of one raffle, if you win a Gen Zero, the rest of your tickets get taken out. Do the rest of your tickets get taken out for that raffle? Or do they get taken out of all the raffles?
Ooh, good question.
Like,
I
can
think
I...
it's-
Yeah,
I think it's just that raffle.
So I could theoretically, if I have at least one ticket in all 10 of the... And it might
You could
be
win
more than
10.
10. I could theoretically win 10?
I believe
That's
so.
my plan. That's my
Because
game plan,
the
as we stand.
crystal, because the X crystal one is 100 Gen Zeros, right? And you get, I think it's one ticket per 10 X crystal, right? So, however many tickets you get for that one, you're eligible for the one of the 100. But the Perilous Journey was 250. Like it was they're different sets. You know what I mean? So I imagine, yeah, you could get multiple Gen Zeros. And I'm sure there will be like massive wallets that do because they have a million, raffle tickets.
It'd be interesting to see somebody get... I think 2 we'll see. If someone gets a 3rd, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of cope on the old Twitter sphere from the rest of us.
Hey, how often do I say the rich get richer? I say that a lot.
You do say that way too much, some might say. But, All right, C9N, take us out.
This has been a special. No, it hasn't been a special episode. It's just been a regular episode
kinda
of
special.
Bogside. Yeah, pretty
Felt
special. A regular episode of Bogside Chats where we talk everything DFK, but keep it casual. My name's C9N. This is Maddie. This is Franz. And hopefully next week.
Do the line. Do the slogan.
I was about to do a new one, which was hopefully next week we won't be the only non-well
Those aren't
podcast.
happening this week.
They're not happening for a while.
This is completely off the rails. Everybody have a good night.
Night.
I'm keeping that.
That was great.
They're
I love the ending.
you get God